Hi guys, it's Nathara. It's been a while since I did a video on my YouTube or a podcast on my podcast, and that's because it's November and December. I always have like a really hard time with November, December, just, for various personal reasons. But in addition to that, like November and December kind of suck anyway. Like everyone's under so much pressure, there's so much stress and anxiety going on. And then this, in the year 2020, we have had an especially difficult November and December so far. So with the election at the beginning of the month and everything, it has just been like chaos central. Since I work as a professional reader, I spend a lot of my time kind of listening to and kind of help manage other people's emotions and anxiety. And so November and December are always very difficult. People really expect their fairy tale endings to come through at like Thanksgiving or Christmas or New Year's, and it's not really how things go most of the time. So yeah, November and December are not my favorite months for personal reasons, professional reasons, and just general practicality, and so that's why you'll always see my channel kind of slow down in November and December. But I did want to stop and share with you guys something that I think is hilarious. I made a really huge miscalculation this November that I haven't made since I was in high school, and which is like, you guys, over 20 years ago, so it's been a long time. But yeah, so it's not something that I hear talked about very often. Like I haven't heard it even discussed like since I was really young. But as much as I love and recommend grounding, there is such a thing as too much grounding. And so I, myself, am normally a very grounded person. Not sure why, have a lot of theories. In the end, it doesn't really matter. So I learned in high school that if I did additional grounding practices, like beyond just like, your energy work kind of grounding or visualizations and meditations and that kind of thing, if I went further with that, I would really experience a lot of lethargy and exhaustion and just kind of being really turned inward into my own reality, like no wanting to interact with the outside world. And so I've done things like I avoid wearing obsidian or smoky quartz or onyx or jet or like hematite, any of those stones, because they do have that really strong grounding effect, and I absolutely recommend them to a ton of people for that reason. So in my unquestionable wisdom, I thought, okay, people are freaking out, everyone is super stressed, it's starting to really get to me, and I'm having a hard time functioning too or focusing on anything. So I think some grounding here makes sense, especially going into the election. And so I got out one of the bracelets that I normally use on my candle spells, to ground the magic and changes into reality. Because things happening on an energetic level are really nice, but like most of us want to see them happen in physical reality instead. So I use a lot of like gemstone bracelets to put around my candles and stuff. So I grabbed mine that has jet on it and then a little bit of like hematite highlights, and I went ahead and put it around my ankle because my hands tend to be too small to keep bracelets on. So I put it on my ankle, and over the weeks I kind of like switched it back and forth depending on what ankle, like how irritated my ankle was getting. And so after a few days I was like, wow, this anxiety about the election is really getting to me. This is bad. I'm gonna have to just kind of like slow down and take it easy. And then slowing down and taking it easy got more and more extreme to where it was just like, I don't think I'm gonna get out of bed. I don't really feel motivated to do anything. I think I'm just going to lay here and see if I can sleep more. Which sounds a lot like depression, and that is exactly what I assumed it was. But then I was just sitting in bed playing games on my phone, and I thought, dang, I just woke up like 4 hours ago. Why am I so tired already? And it occurred to me that I was wearing this bracelet on my ankle, and I was like, oh my god, you dummy, you did it again. You haven't done this since high school. So I guess it's like, it makes sense. You know, every so often you kind of have to repeat some mistakes because it's easy to forget them. But but oh gosh, yeah, I absolutely felt like a moron, because I was like, you know, this is exactly how these stones affect you. That you just become a bump on a log, a bear ready for hibernation. You become the most unmovable object. And so no wonder I had no energy, no motivation, no will to do anything. And so I just thought I would share that with you. If you guys experience the same effect from those like typical grounding stones and stuff, then you're not alone. I don't really understand it, but I also know that I have run into other people who had other like quirky energy work problems. Like I knew a woman whose like empathy gift had opened up really big, and she was feeling overwhelmed by everything, but shielding did not work for her at all. It just made it harder for her. So it was like when she tried to shield, it was like she was going into battle with all this energy that was coming in instead of like it working to protect her. So she had to go from like a shielding system to a filtering system, which is working great for her now. So there are those like weird little quirky things that happen with the energy out there, and it's sometimes really hard to pinpoint why it works that way for you or whatever. But that is why it is so important when you are watching videos, reading tutorials, reading a book or whatever. The person in the book can say whatever they want, and they may be pulling it out of their ass. They may be going on a lot of research and tradition and shared experiences and stuff, but not everything is going to be true for every person. And it's so important to remember that down deep inside, we're each individuals, and we kind of have to come to energy work and witchcraft and paganism and all those kinds of things as individuals. And it's great to get advice from other people. Other people are great for advice, but you really have to test all that knowledge and advice and exercise and processes against yourself to see if they really work for you as well. So just a funny anecdote about the foolish thing that I did, because it had been way too long since the last time I did it, and a little reassurance that if something in the metaphysical or witchy world isn't working for you, it's not your fault, and you're not necessarily doing it wrong. It might just not work for you, and you're free to go find another technique or something else to help you out there instead. That's why there's like 80 million ways to do pretty much anything. So I hope this helps. I hope you guys are doing great out there. I will try not to be gone for so long, but like, to be honest, my readings queue is just blowing up all the time, and I'm trying to prioritize that right now. But I will be back again soon-ish, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful holiday in whatever way you have decided to celebrate them. Stay safe out there, wear your masks, be responsible, and find joy and happiness, y'all. Bye.